Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Mr. Honeya here for Housing and Interiors. We're going to be going over shape today. Very simple, very easy. So what you're going to do is you're going to go through, do the notes, fill in all the information, and then you're going to submit. And one of the big things that I'm going to be judging you guys off of is just making sure the notes are completed and that the album cover assignment is completed as well. And you will do that within these notes. But first, we want to go through and do a little bit of review. So we talked a lot about spot and line. So the first thing we have is a spot's blank and blank help create its visual energy. Now, when you think about this, remember, you want to know that its size and its position help create that visual energy. So what kind of line is this? Remember, if it's looking like it's going from left to right, it's flat. What kind of line is this? We had all different types of lines. And as you see, if you think about it, this looks like the horizon. So therefore it is horizontal. So what kind of lines are these in the background? As you see, they're not going straight up. They're not going straight down. They're not going straight right or straight left. So these are going to be diagonal. And once again, you don't have to really fill this in. This is just sort of for your information. Then what connects 2 points? We talked about this. It's a line. We've just been reviewing it real quick. And then finally, a barcode utilizes what kind of lines, and these lines can vary in what to help create visual appeal. Remember that the barcode utilizes vertical lines. They go up and down. If it's vertical, it goes up and down. And remember, these can vary in different widths or thickness in order to create that visual appeal. So that's a nice shape you got there. It'd be a shame if someone replaced the P with an M. Anyway, so what is shape? So this happens when a line encloses an area. Okay, so whenever you have a line that actually encloses an area, that is what a shape is, and this is considered to be a two-dimensional thing. Shapes are not three-dimensional. Okay, they are two-dimensional, only considering with two, they are flat, polygons, yes, that sort of thing. So this is going to be what shape is all about. So there are different types of shapes, and the first type is called the geometric. And this is the common idea of what a shape is, okay? So you have like your squares and your circles and your triangles. They are geometric. In other words, if you were to like open up a math book and look at a shape, this is what you would see. If you were to open up a geometry book, look at a shape, this is what you see. If you turn on like Baby Einsteins or Barney or something and they're talking about the shapes, this is what you would see, okay? And these different types of shapes provide different types of looks about them in the terms of design. So what is the best way to take a selfie? And this is one of the things where shape is ending up in thinking about the idea of how shape is utilized. A lot of people recognize that when you take a selfie, you want it to be taken from, like, for example, that the camera is going and facing downwards at you. You're taking it from the from an upper angle. And one of the reasons this is because it actually creates the illusion of an upside down triangle or the V shape, which is actually considered to be one of the elements of something that is very pleasing. So if you look back at what the triangle means, that can be something that plays into the idea of how that ties into the visual look when taking a selfie. Just for your information. So next we have natural shapes, which are found in nature or are man-made that simply occur. So leaves, seashells, flowers, ink blots, and gems. They're free form, they are flowing, and they are irregular. So they just exist, okay? They just exist out there. So you have all these different types of shapes, and while the shading on them may make them appear more while the shading of them may make them appear more, for example, um, 3D, three-dimensional. These are shapes that if you look at it from a flattened perspective, once again, they're natural. This is how this stuff actually exists. That's how it fell. That's how it looks. You know, it doesn't look like you're going to open this up and, you know, see this in a geometry book. This is going to be more of a in nature type thing. And last, you have stylized shapes, which are referred to as abstract shapes, and they're simplified version of natural shapes. So for example, we have like the bicycle, the scissors, and the glasses, as well as the trees. This does not look like this in real life, okay? We know that if you took a picture of a bicycle and then you took an actual photo of an actual bicycle, it does not look like that in real life, okay? These are simplified versions of what would be something that is natural. As I like to say, it's clip art or it is cartoonish, things of that nature. And it still gets the point across as to what type of shape it actually is. Okay. You have a quick little exercise, and what you're going to do is, as you see, there are going to be several little album covers that are listed beyond this slide. So what you're going to do is you're going to choose an album cover. There's like several listed, and then you are going to write what shapes you see in the album cover. Justify it. So the thing about it is so choose your album cover. If it doesn't have the artist name on it, just describe it, and then what shapes are in the album cover. So we'll go ahead and do the first one. So don't worry about the first one, but we'll go ahead and do the first one. So this is Ed Sheeran's Divide. So I would obviously write, in choosing the album cover, this is Divide, describing it. And now you're looking at shapes. So you could argue, for example, that the divide symbol that we have here utilizes, I would say, geometric shapes because they're circles and they also have that line creates sort of a rectangle. All right, so that is very much a type of shape that is there. You could also argue that, for example, this could also be, for example, stylized because as you see how the ink is in the background of the album of the blues, you could argue that those types of brushstroke shapes are stylized versions of a natural shape, or you could argue that that is actually a natural shape, being that when someone creates a brushstroke of types of shapes in the background, that is what it naturally looks like. Even from the standpoint, you could argue that, you could even argue that the divide shape or the divide sign even consists of natural because as someone would use a natural brushstroke, that's what it would come out and look like. But once again, that all depends. A lot of this stuff is really left up open to interpretation. So that's what you want to make sure that you're doing is go through the albums that we have, go through and write what kind of album you pick, and then just sort of write what shapes you think and why you think they are what they are. Okay? So that is going to be your notes for today. If you're on B Day, you can go ahead and submit this, and we will catch you up on the assignments. And obviously for A Day, we got the assignment today. All right? Y'all have a good one. Take care.